What the heck have I been doing on social media lately? Hello and welcome. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. My name is Kelly and I read such a huge variety of books. Lately, I've been getting into a lot of higher fantasy and lit RPGs, but I've been sprinkling in quite a bit of romance as well. I don't know what the heck I've been doing on social media lately. I know my reading has definitely dropped off a little bit, and I know that's also because it's summer. I'm out touching some grass out there, okay? I did just come back from a week of vacation. I went to Florida, so I got to spend it on the beach, and there is nothing quite like spending a week on the beach and just relaxing. And I don't get to do that very often, so I just want to go back right now. I saw a video that Sarah Caroli did, and I really loved the concept of cutting down the amount of time spent on social media and kind of using that time to read more. So I think we're going to try out this reading vlog video to boost our reading time instead of sitting there rotting in bed and just scrolling through an app. So what she did was she looked at her screen time. She took the top 2 apps that she spent the most amount of time on and then took those minutes that were spent on those apps and turned them into how many pages that she needed to read a day. And I just think that is absolutely brilliant. I love it. So we're going to give it a go because I don't know what the heck I've been doing lately, but I have been on it way too much. With that being said, we will start with last Monday, which was June 30th. I'm going to tell you right now, I have no idea what I was doing. I spent 2 hours on Instagram. I barely am on Instagram anymore because I'm mostly on TikTok. What did I spend 2 hours doing on Instagram? I have no idea. And then I spent another hour on TikTok. So 3 hours out of my day was spent just doom scrolling, rotting on my bed or the couch and just literally rotting. I don't even have another explanation. I did nothing but apparently scroll Instagram and TikTok. That means today we need to read 180 pages. Can I do that? I don't know. Let me go grab the book that I'm currently reading and let's chat about it a little bit. I'm currently reading The Fall of Magic by Phoenix Rockney. And he very kindly sent this to me. I was sent this book by the Nerd Fam and the author, and it was so kind of them to send this to me. It is an epic high fantasy book that has it has a corrupted prince. There is unexpected heroes. Like, so far, it's been a good time. There is a monster called Dahaka in it. And I don't know, maybe I'm just like a huge nerd. But to me, Dahaka's from Heroes of the Storm. And I don't know where he comes from before Heroes of the Storm. However, the way he's explained reminds me of that Dahaka. And I'm all about it. Let me find the bookmark. But look at Dahaka. I think that's Dahaka anyways. Or Dahaka is a group of these things. Like, this is just like their race or whatever. It's just epic. It's absolutely epic. I'm only 20 pages in so far. We have who I think is going to be our FMC. It could possibly be, could not be. Who I have been introduced to so far. She was at this like Tower of the, I don't know how to say it. Magi. Tower, I'm going to call it Magi. I don't know. It really bothers me that I don't know how to say it. Tower of the Magi. It starts off with a big group of people being slaughtered by who I think is the corrupted prince. And they have these tattoos on them showing that they are worshiping or working for this dark god who was kicked out of all the other gods. I don't know. I'm explaining this very badly, but to me it makes sense. He was kicked out of all the other gods and goddesses. He's the dark one. I don't know. It just gives me the vibe of having that epic dark enemy, and then you have the light that needs to defeat it. And I love stories like that. So that's where I'm at so far. It's been pretty good. It's a pretty short book. It is only 283 pages. So we need to read 180. That's what it was. I need to read 180 pages of this book today. So I'm going to go start reading while I have a little bit of time, and I'll bring you back when there's an update. It's now the next day. Did I fail my day 1 of the reading challenge? Unfortunately, yes, I did. I got a little distracted. I had my son's soccer game, and I did try to read while we were at the soccer field, but then everyone started chatting, and I couldn't be rude and be like, sorry, listen, I have a reading goal to hit. Can't do this right now. So I didn't have as much time as I thought to read and get 180 pages read. However, I did read, let me look at my notes. I did read 70 pages of The Fall of Magic, and then I listened to 41 pages of He Who Fights with Monsters. So I did read 111 pages yesterday. That's still a pretty good amount. So that means we have 69 pages to add to today. I think, all right, so let me check last week's screen time. All right, if we're looking at last week, we actually had a pretty good Tuesday, and that's because that's the day I was traveling a lot. So I didn't have as much screen time, I guess you can say, to sit and scroll. So there was, my top 2 apps were YouTube for 31 minutes and TikTok for 17. And that's actually pretty incredible and probably what my day should look like a little bit more often. Today we have 48 pages to read based off our screen time, and then another 69 pages to read that we didn't read yesterday. So that leaves us with a total of 117 pages to read today. Will we get there? I don't know. I hope so. I do have my son's speech later tonight, so that's a good 30-minute chunk that I do get to just straight dedicate to reading right there. So I think I could get at least 30 to 40 pages in just there, and then we'll see where we could trickle in a little bit more. Right now, I was in the middle of I wanted a more aesthetic TBR jar. So I'm looking for a TBR jar that I can just buy because I'm not crafty in that sense of making one. I do love my mushroom that I use, but I kind of wanted something a little different to switch it up. So I was looking on Etsy and seeing if I could find someone that's like crafty that can do that for me. And then I wanted to do my own prompts and just make them kind of cutesy. So let me show you what I'm working on right now. I don't know if you could really see these on my screen, but yes, I did make myself a little heading. But these are my little boxes, and I'm currently typing in a bunch of new prompts because we are almost out of prompts for our TBR jar. And while we are using the wheel like throughout the month, I still love that feeling of not knowing what you're gonna pick or what you're gonna get. That's what I'm working on right now. I'm gonna put my headset on. We are going to listen to He Who Fights with Monsters while I work on this. We're just gonna start with that. Actually just realized I have to go leave, excuse me, to get my little one like in 2 minutes. I've listened to about 2 chapters of He Who Fights with Monsters, and right now we're in like this huge monster battle. If you don't know what it is a lit RPG, and we are following our main character, Jason Asano, who kind of got magically sucked into this new world, and this world has magic and different races, and there are game-like mechanics. So he has an inventory and he's able to loot monsters, and there's this really cool magic system where it's not necessarily like a set magic system. You get these different essences, and based on what essences you decide to absorb into your body, you will get different powers possibly. So you get to pick, I'm kind of saying that weird. You get to absorb 3 essences. So you can either absorb the first 3 you get, or you can wait and kind of curate what kind of abilities you're going to have. And based on those 3 essences that you absorbed, you get a 4th one. So like there's different combinations of what that 4th one could possibly be. It's pretty cool. So Jason is right now fighting like a bunch of sand elementals with his team. And if you like gaming or D&D type of stuff, try lit RPGs. Dungeon Crawler Carl is a lit RPG. This one's a little bit more, I'm not sure exactly how I would say it. They're both lit RPGs. Dungeon Crawler Carl, I would recommend to people who have never read the genre before. If you like the genre, then maybe try this. It's not going to be for everyone, but I am having a great time with it. I know normally in my reading vlogs, it's more romance or romantasy based type of books. This time around, we're kind of going into a higher fantasy setting, Dungeons and Dragons type of world settings. I don't know. It's great. I'm having a grand old time. So I'm going to continue probably listening to He Who Fights with Monsters right now while I go pick up my little one, and we'll see where we get to at the end of the day. Did I complete my reading goal yesterday? Yes, I did. Believe it or not, I did read all of the pages I needed to catch up on day 1 and read what we needed to for day 2. I finished He Who Fights with Monsters and I was listening to that on audio, and let me just tell you, I did not see that ending coming. I should have recorded it. My jaw literally hit the floor. I expected a big like epic battle. I expected there to be like some type of big drama. I did not expect what happened. And am I upset? Yes. But am I also jacked and ready to jump into the next one? Absolutely. It's phenomenal. It's more D&D based. There's quests and adventures. And you like something like The Witcher, if you like D&D based type of things, if you like gaming type of books, because it is a lit RPG, I would say give this one a try. It takes a bit to get going in the beginning, but it's needed because it's such a massive world and there's so much world building in it. And the politics, I love when politics come into play. So anyways, yep, we finished that book. It was fantastic. I need to start book 2 soon. I won't be starting it right away just because I need to mix things up a little bit. This is our 3rd day of our reading challenge. And surprisingly, I checked my apps this morning and I only had 30 minutes spent on TikTok last week. So that's pretty great. That's phenomenal. I can definitely knock out 30 pages today. I'm gonna go on a little bit of a hike or a big walk. I don't know what you would consider it, but we're gonna go do that and then probably pick up a book later on. What am I gonna read? I have a couple of options. I am, roughly 270 pages into Throttled by Lauren Asher. So I could finish that. I might finish this. I might just finish this. I'm also about to start, I don't remember the name, but it's like Robin Hood, but make it dark. It's more of like an epic fantasy of like kind of fairy tale retellings, but not your normal type of fairy tale retellings. I'm going to put the picture up here when I find it because I cannot for the life of me remember the name or the author, but I might start that as well. I mean, I could just finish this. Let me see how many pages. We got like 100 pages left. So we could knock 30 of them out today. We might do that. We might just knock this book out so I could start a new series and be like completely ready and open to read it. So yeah, I'm going to go on my walk and we'll pick this up a little later. Please ignore my lion's mane. My hair is seriously out of control today. So yesterday I read, I think we had like only 40 pages to read or something. So I don't even remember how many pages we had to read. I just know I read way more than I needed to. So yesterday was a success. I read a little over 100 and something pages. I finished Throttled by Lauren Asher, and the ending was way better than the beginning. I think it was a great debut novel on her part. It's the only Lauren Asher book I've ever read, so I really don't have much to compare it to. I don't know if it's similar to her other ones, but according to the reviews, her other books are better than the Dirty Air series. So we'll see. But the end, I did really enjoy the end, and I thought it was super cute. I like that couple together. I gave it a 3 stars. I think it was a very average romance book. I also had a nice little hike. I didn't get too much sun this time, thank goodness. We're not burnt like a lobster today. Looking at this time last week, I spent 46 minutes on Instagram and 32 on TikTok. Those were my 2 highest used apps last week this time. That's a total of 78 pages that need to be read today. I'm currently listening to book 2 of He Who Fights with Monsters, so there might be a little bit of an audio moment going on. And then I am also reading book 1 of the Levanthria series. I think I'm saying that correctly. It's A Forest of Vanity and Valor. I don't know if you can see that. And this is a bunch of different fairy tale retellings, but make it darker. And I believe it's more of an epic fantasy versus a romantasy. So far, it's pretty good. I'm on page 21, and I'm 12% done with this book. I know this is like a 250 page book, so it's relatively short. I think we should be able to get 78 pages in. It's a little over probably an hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on what I'm reading or listening to. So we'll see. We'll see how today goes. I think I will have enough time to read though. Time for a quick update. I took a little bit of a break in between the last time that you saw me to now because my husband had some time off and I was just spending time with the family. I wasn't going to be too concentrated on making sure I read a certain amount that day because the whole point of this is to make sure I'm being more present in my life and not doom scrolling through any of my social media apps. I am happy to say I was extremely present. I really haven't been on social media too much while he's been off, and we've been at the beach and just having a grand old time. I was able to schedule most of my stuff instead of sitting there wondering what I'm going to do and doom scrolling. Little update though, I did finish book 2 of He Who Fights with Monsters, and it is so good. It is getting better. We had bigger monsters, bigger fights, more high stakes fights where you're not just getting like a little tap on the wrist if you're not doing well. The plot is really coming along and we're seeing who these bad people are and who they're working with. And it's pretty high stakes here. We did get to go through kind of like a quest and trials type of thing in this book. And that was just awesome. Pretty freaking awesome. A big focus on this book is of our main character becoming part of a team, who's in that team, and the rest of the team kind of getting all of their powers and them learning how to use these powers together. So it's a pretty cool process. The way this book ended, I'm not happy. I am not happy with the way this book ended because it ended with me not knowing what happens to one of my favorite characters. So of course I have to start book 3 very soon. I'm not going to start it yet. I'm going to take a little break in between. I have a tendency when I'm reading books like this to consume them so fast that I don't fully appreciate what I'm reading. So I'm making myself stop He Who Fights with Monsters for the moment, pick up another book, and then I'll go back to book 3 so that I can kind of just be here in this moment of not knowing what happens to my character and kind of just enjoying that and reflecting back on what we just went through and what happened instead of jumping right into book 3 and then just like go. With that being said, this time last week for when I had originally planned this challenge, I guess you could call it, we were on Instagram 46 minutes and TikTok 32 minutes. So we have to read 78 pages today. What we'll be reading is this chonker right here, Blood and Betrayals by Jeanette Rose and Alexis Rune. We just spun the wheel, and this actually was the book that the wheel picked for us. A little over 700 pages, and the writing is really small, so it's going to take me a bit to get through this, but I hear every word is worth it, and that there's a reason for why this book is so long, and I will figure it out when I get to the end of this book. We roughly have about 10 minutes, so we'll just sit and read and see how many pages we get done. I'm sorry. I literally just started, right? This is the prologue, page 1. And the first sentence of this prologue says, "A fly crawls into her vacant eye socket. Its wings move back and forth rhythmically in the hypnotic dance of a scavenger." Ugh, that is disgusting. Why are we starting off our book like that? By the way, I know that this book is supposedly a little pretty dark. So there was a contents warning page. Yeah. So it is a little gory and dark. But I didn't expect that to be the first thing we see in the book. I hate flies. I hate bugs, but I hate flies. Hate them. Okay, in like 12 minutes, we read 8 pages. About 8 pages. We're now on chapter 2. It turns out that prologue that we read with the flies the part we read with the flies is a prologue, and that happened, I think it said 2 months earlier. No, our story picks up on chapter 1 2 months earlier than whatever happened with the flies, and that was disgusting. So far, our main character, Summer, has arrived at this school. Something has happened, and now she's there. I'm not sure what yet. And she has met her new roommate, who just so happens to be a vampire named Alice. That's kind of all we've gotten to so far. So a cute little intro to Blood and Betrayals. I like it so far. I'm going to go run my errands, get my little one, do what I gotta do, and then we have some more time to read today. Yesterday, we were supposed to read 80 pages. You could see where my bookmark is. You will know that I did not read 80 pages. I read 12, which is 2 pages more than what you saw me read last time. I will be completely honest with you. I rotted all day yesterday, and you would think that because I chose to rot doing absolutely nothing for most of the day, that I would have read a lot. However, I watched YouTube, and I'm not going to count that as me consuming myself with social media because I wasn't doom scrolling. I was watching some reading vlogs and creators that I haven't gotten to catch up on their videos with, and I just needed a day where my brain didn't do a thing. I've been reading quite a bit lately, and it just needed a break. So I listened to my body and I gave it a break. I did also listen to 2-ish hours of Kaiju Battlefield Surgeon by Matt Dinniman. This is a lit RPG where you have these like huge kaijus, and if you don't know what they are, they're kind of like Godzilla-sized monsters, and they're all different types of shapes and sizes. And our main character, Duke, is an artist in a world where people prefer AI art. They prefer AI written books. So he is struggling, and he's in severe debt. He gets a phone call from somebody saying that they want to commission a mural from him. They want him to paint this wall in their home. He's going to make it look like the wall in their game, the house in their game that he has. He wants that in his real life home on his wall. So he goes into this virtual reality game to look at this mural that he is commissioned to paint, only to find out that is not what the guy actually wants from him. I have no idea what the guy really wants from him yet. That's just where I'm at. He's stuck in this video game with these huge monsters and he's not human. And if you're not into lit RPGs, that might not excite you, but it excites me. So I don't really know how many pages technically I listened to in that 2 hours. I read, okay. So you know what? I listened to, read, whatever you want to call it, 57 pages of Kaiju Battlefield Surgeon. And then, what did I say? 12? 12 of this. So like 69 pages. So actually, we almost hit the 80 pages. So I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied with that because I gave my brain a nice, much needed rest. And I read almost the amount of time that was my goal. Let's look at how many pages we are supposed to read today. It says we spent 56 minutes on TikTok and 38 on Instagram. We need to read 94 pages. I'm going to try to listen to most of them, I think. Even though I would love to sit and read this, I just have a lot of like running around to do today. So let's see how many pages we can consume today. Goal is 94. It is the next day and I am happy to report that we read exactly 100 pages last night. And it actually wasn't even that hard to do. So we hit our 94 pages that we wanted to read. I'm extremely happy about that. This book, that was a nice smack. This book is so good. Oh my gosh. I love the school setting. I don't really normally see angels in a lot of books, but there's some sexy angels in this. Okay. Let's just state the facts. We've got vampires, there's fae, there's shifters. I love the school aspect of it. If you like something like Zodiac Academy, I feel like you might like this. Not that they're exactly the same, but they do have that like social media aspect where Nexus is their version of social media. Our female main character is a fae that is different from other fae. Her roommate's the vampire. And now we have these angels in the picture, shifters, and there's all this turmoil going on. And then you have like all these incredibly hot professors. And I don't know if the headmaster is meant to be a love interest in any way, but he's got this like dominating, delicious vibe going on. And I don't know. I haven't read anything about this book. I'm going in blind. So I don't know if there's a teacher-student thing going on or not, but it's really good. The banter is bantering. Just so delicious. The tension. It does get a little spicy early on, but the tension is still there. Ugh. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. So I got to page 112 last night before I went to bed, and I'm now at 136. I read this morning first thing because I just didn't want to put this book down. So technically, was that like 24 pages? We've already read 24 pages off the amount of pages that will need to be read for today for our challenge. So last week at this time, we spent an hour and 6 minutes on YouTube. Does YouTube count? Yes, it counts. So we spent an hour and 6 minutes on YouTube. I was probably rotting and binging. What was this, a Saturday? Yes, I think this was on a Saturday. So I was probably like doing housework and listening to YouTube, truly. But we'll still count it. And then 50 minutes on TikTok and another 40 on Instagram. I did like nothing but binge content that day, I guess. However, we're only taking the top 2. So let's see, 116 pages. I don't know. Today's a little bit of a rough day. I think I can still do it. So if we just do this book today and we don't audio it, We need to get to page 228. See what that looks like. Going and going. This is how much we need to read today. I don't know. I think we could do it. I'm going to have high hopes. So I am going to spend any of my downtime doing this today. And we'll see how far we get. Guys, I didn't just read 106 pages yesterday. I like knocked it out of the park. I don't even know how many I read. Look at all this. I'm at page 424 right now. I don't know how I read that many pages, but I did. This book has sucked me in and it is so good. And we have this like anonymous stalker going on in here. And I have theories on who it is and I don't know if I'm going to be correct or not. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish this today. I have another busy day today, but I also didn't think I was going to read so much yesterday. So maybe we'll finish it and get to see who this guy is. But the stalker's different than our MMC, and I'm very curious if it's the person I think it is. So let's take a look at how many pages we need to read today. I don't even know what to say. We spent 3.5 hours on YouTube. I thought yesterday with my hour on YouTube was bad. What did I do? And then another 26 minutes on Instagram. That's like what, 240 pages? Yeah, I think that's like 240 pages. Oh man. We read 240 pages. We need to be at page 664 by tonight, which to be completely honest, almost finishes the book. We might as well just read to the end, to be completely honest. So our goal is to finish this entire book today and give you my thoughts. Well, I don't have very much free time today, so I guess I should just get reading. Yesterday, I had a crazy amount of pages to read, and I'm happy to say I read every single one of them plus some. I ended up finishing Blood and Betrayals, and this was such a good time. You like dark academia with a ton of different types of characters. There's shifters, there's fae, there's berserkers, there's Valkyrie, there's vampires, there's wizards. It has literally everything in it. And we're following our FMC. She's attending this place in the hopes that she can be protected from whatever is out there. While she's there, she has a stalker messaging her. There's a murder mystery going down at the school. It's just pure chaos, and it's absolutely a guilty pleasure. I would say, like, maybe if you like Zodiac Academy, you might enjoy this. I don't think they're similar, but the vibes are vibing between the two. So yeah, I would say overall, this week has been extremely successful. Have I stayed off social media? No, but I have been on it a lot less, and I have been focusing more on reading instead of doom scrolling. So for me, that's a win. I honestly had a great time doing this challenge, and I think I'm going to start doing some more challenges. Maybe not the same one, but a little different where I'm going to have to read a certain amount of pages a day or something like that. I'm curious, am I the only one that spends this much time on social media, or does everyone have this guilty pleasure of doom scrolling throughout the day? Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. If you're new and want to continue along with me, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. I'd really appreciate it. Hope y'all have an amazing day, and I will see you in the next one.